Spurs up, Carolina fans. This is Phil Harris here once again here at the Ruckin Roosters Show. We are joined with Gavin Bennett. Gavin, how the hell are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Getting everything packed up, getting ready to head on down to Columbia, South Carolina for With You weekend this weekend. Going to be awesome. I did have a little sponsor that I wanted to mention prior to us really getting too far into anything, so I'm going to do that right now. It is for Balmer Associates Insurance Brokers. They provide full-service quoting, enrolling, and servicing for their clients in the areas of healthcare insurance, Medicare insurance, life insurance, long-term care insurance, and disability insurance. They're an independent insurance broker, so they can help you find the best coverages and prices for you among the main carriers available in your area. Robert Balmer has been doing this for 25 years. He is a USC alumnus and played for USC Rugby from 87 to 89 and now serves on the board of directors for Carolina Rugby Foundation. Robert Balmer would love to help you with your personal insurance needs. You can visit him at 1087 Harbor Drive, Suite C, as in cat. That is in West Columbia, South Carolina, 29169. The office number for him is scrolling across the bar there. I'll let you know what it is as well. It is 803-888-6565. Make sure you call Robert Balmer and tell him that the Ruckin Rooster Show sent you. All right. Gavin, it's been a while since we've talked. It looks like it's been about 9 months since you've been on the show. You were originally on the show with our boy, Chris Phillips of the Spurs Up Show. He's a bit of a talker. So, we learned a little bit about you. But for the folks that might have missed that particular episode of the show, give us an idea of or give us a rundown of your athletic background and how did you find rugby?
Awesome. Yeah. So I've been a part of the rugby club for 2 years. It's been the best 2 years of my college career, but I actually started out on the football team. I got a preferred walk-on coming out of senior year. I had played football my entire life. Played a few other sports, but mostly stuck with football. Went to South Point High School, big football factory. Davion Clowney went there, Stephon Gilmore, just to name a few. And so football has always been a big part of my life. And I came to USC, and I truly found out it wasn't my passion. And it's funny, I was at a bar one night, and the short, little, chubby guy came up to me, John Golden, and he goes, "Dude, you're a big guy. You should come play rugby." I was like, there is no way that I'm quitting football to come play rugby. And I found myself just really unhappy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to call that guy up and see how it is. And the second I stepped on the pitch, I love it. It's the greatest decision I've ever made. So I'm happy that I did it.
Man, we're happy to have you for sure. You've been a great player for Carolina Rugby since you joined the team. I did want to mention, I wanted to remind everybody watching to please become a monthly donor for the With You campaign for coaching, scholarships, and program excellence. Head over to uscrugby.org and click on the donate tab to make sure you're starting your monthly donation today. We would greatly appreciate that. You were talking about just now how you went from being a football player at the University of South Carolina to becoming really an all-in rugby player. I think it's fair to say that you're all in rugby now, and you're a rugby guy at this point. What is so special about rugby?
I think it's honestly the greatest team sport. There's not one guy that can do anything without somebody, and it kind of speaks to the whole With You campaign. You can run the ball as far as you want, but if you don't have some guy with you in support, there's nothing you can do. So I've truly found a group of 50 of my best friends, and that's something, that I wish I had with the football team. And I think it speaks to not only the culture of rugby, but the culture of Gamecock rugby is, on and off that pitch, I've got 50 of my best friends with me at all times. And it's great when we're on the pitch, and it's certainly a great time when we're off the pitch. So, yeah, I think that kind of speaks to the whole sport in general.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up pretty well, why people love the sport of rugby. In episode 8, we found out that you're a journalism minor, but you don't like writing papers. I'm very curious about this. What is your major, and what are your plans after graduation?
Oh, it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm actually a operations and supply chain management major.
Okay.
I like numbers. I do not like words. I don't mind letters and math, but I definitely don't like writing papers.
Very good.
And I'm currently accepting an offer to go work with PepsiCo and be a warehouse supervisor in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's
So
awesome.
I got to be around a lot of orange, but I'm excited about the job and excited to get out there in December.
Good for you, man. You will be in enemy territory for sure there. That orange sure is disgustingly ugly. So there's no getting used to that. So I hate that for you, but I'm happy for you overall with the job acceptance there. Let's talk about, the last time we spoke with you, Gavin, you had never played the game of sevens before, the game of rugby sevens. Since that time, Carolina Rugby won the conference championship. It was a bit of an upset for sure, and have made appearances in both the national tournaments in sevens. Can you give us an overview of your sevens experience since the last time we spoke with you?
Yeah, it definitely was interesting. Other than John Golden, I think I was the biggest guy out there, which was definitely different for me because 15s is all I knew. Playing prop is just head busting, like I'm bigger and faster and I'm gonna beat your head in. Sevens takes a little bit more skill and it takes a little bit more finesse, and that was something that I wasn't really used to. John used to feed me the ball and he said the only thing that you're supposed to not do is pass. So sevens was definitely a lot of adjusting for me, but kind of speaking like we said earlier, my brothers helped me out a lot. We spent a lot of time on the pitch just developing a lot of skills, and luckily I wasn't the only one that wasn't used to sevens. So it was crazy because we just had this awesome turnaround throughout the season. I think it was spring break. All the guys went to PCB, and that's kind of where we figured ourselves out. But even there, we're on the beach and we're passing the ball and we're talking. There was actually a lot of ruggers down there too. So we had a lot of fun with that. And it was just a great experience to see, like, wow, we have 14, 15 guys who, like me, had maybe never even played sevens or never even really passed a ball. I had never even thrown a pass in a game before. So going from that to going all the way to Bourbon Street and competing for a national championship, I mean, I think it was probably one of the greatest comeback stories of all time. So we always say, out you gotta with the butter. So
yeah, we got the explanation of the hashtag from our boys Dan and Grant in the last episode here. Wanted to mention we got some fans here. Walker Richardson chiming in here. DJ Dadbot in the flesh. I didn't know that was your nickname. That's a good one actually.
Yeah, it's my failed side hustle attempt to be a DJ. I've done a few fraternity events, but rugby is my main passion. So I haven't had a whole lot of free weekends to do much, but I make a few mixes every once in a while.
Good for you, man. We also got another one here from Walker. Make sure to ask Gavin how much he loves playing prop. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is that's a lie because I actually hate prop, but I do what it takes to help the team win. So, and I feel bad for our hooker because Walker is maybe all of 5'2". So, and I'm 6'4". So it's not very fun, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. I played prop as a, same height as you. Should have been a second Roman, but I played B-side and I wasn't very fast. So, you just got to play where they tell you to play and do the best for your team. And I was terrible at prop and I didn't enjoy it. But, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, man. Got to help the team win for sure. So let's talk about we saw that video in the preseason way back when at this point for 15s where you guys were doing some military-style training at Fort Jackson. It looked really intense. How did that help the team for the 15 season, and also how did it help team bonding?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I wasn't even there. I had my cousin's wedding in Denver, Colorado, so I unfortunately missed that. But all the guys talk about it still to this day, about how much it kind of taught us about grit and how to be tough. And, I definitely, shout out to our service members. My mom's Army retired veteran. And but I would say rugby is very close to combat in the way that you have to work together to achieve a goal, and it's physical, and you can't go out there and just quit. And so I think that speaks a lot to our culture on always fighting to the last second. So I think that definitely did help our team and, developing that skill. And I think that all the guys still talk about it to this day. And I know it was hard. And, I was celebrating my cousin's wedding, but those guys, they were fighting and it was hard, but they had a really great time. So.
Yeah, I had a wedding there in Denver, huh? So you got to miss that. That's I mean, I guess it's good for you to have to partake in that, but also kind of sucks because you missed that story for sure. But that's awesome. We've got a lot of young guys coming into the program, so I'm sure that helped with them bonding with the rest of the experienced players on our team. Let's talk about what's taking place here in the 7th season so far. Since that huge win over Clemsucks, there's been 2 losses, one to Kentucky at home and one to the defending national champions Tennessee on the road. How does the team bounce back against Kennesaw State this weekend? Obviously, there's going to be a huge home crowd for the Gamecocks this weekend because of the With You weekend is also paired up with this particular game, so I'll be there cheering on the boys. But how do you guys bounce back?
I think that we can't sit there and be satisfied. I can speak to the culture of the team. We've been flat since Clemson. Clemson was a top 5 moment for me. It was great. It was something I'll tell my kids about. But what do you do after that? Every week has to be we beat Clemson. We haven't beat Kentucky in forever. We haven't beat Tennessee in a very long time. So I think that we got to continue to work and continue to build on our success. And Clemson's a very good rugby team. And, I think that we're going to see Tennessee down the road here in a little bit. So we know what we're up against. Unfortunately, Kentucky, we're not going to be able to play them again. And as a senior, I would definitely like to hit a few of those guys again, but we don't get that shot. So I think we have to look at the next Tennessee game as we got to bounce back. And, I got to find some of those guys, whoever did this to me, right there.
Yeah.
I think we just got to continue and get to work and practice and shape our skills. And we have a great group of guys. I have no doubt in my mind that we have the talent and the ability to beat those guys. But whether or not we want to come and play that day is up to us. So I think that speaks a lot to our coach who's going to help us do that. Me and Grant Howard talking about doing film. So I think we have the tools, and whether or not we want to use that is going to be the decision making.
Speaking of practice, I don't want to keep you too long because you got practice at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sure some guys watching this might be current players or counting down the minutes here to see if you actually make it on time. We'll get you there for sure. We've done 17 episodes of this show so far. Your teammates talk about you quite a bit on here. Your impact on and off the pitch is absolutely huge. What type of legacy do you want to leave this program?
I definitely want to be associated with hard work and the amount of effort I put in this program. It's kind of funny because I'm a guy who came in. Last year was my first season. I didn't really know much about the sport. I'm still developing those skills. Every time, there's a penalty or there's something that I'm unaware of, I either try to talk to the sir or I talk to our captains about maybe what was the call, what can I do different. And but I can't use that as an excuse because I am an A-side starter. I do play and I try to contribute as much on and off the pitch as possible. So I definitely like to be considered, somebody who cares a lot about the program and wants to see them do well. And I don't know, I've personally put in a lot of effort. I've over my course, I came out to rugby at 300 pounds. I'm down to 225, just trying to get in shape and trying to build those skills. So for me, one of the biggest things was, and they always make fun of me for playing football. They're like, "Oh, are you on the football team or whatever?" And it's funny, but like, I'm a rugby guy through and through now. But it's taken me a long time to get here. This wasn't an overnight thing. So I definitely want to leave my mark as somebody who cared a lot and somebody who worked very hard and just kind of a teammate to remember. That's definitely something I'd like to go out on.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the laws of the game are extensive and complicated. So, it takes a while for people to pick up on that. I think you've done a fantastic job as a crossover athlete for sure. Today is Halloween, Gavin. So I wanted to get some Halloween questions in here. Absolutely. Which horror villain would you rather tackle? Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, or Freddy Krueger?
I'd like to think that Freddy Krueger would be a back, and as a prop, I don't like back, so I think I would just deck him.
I think that's the perfect answer. Freddy Krueger apparently a small guy, 5'8" apparently if you Google it. So he's definitely like a scrum half type of guy. So you definitely want to run those guys over for sure. What is your favorite Halloween costume you've ever worn?
Oh wow, that's hard. I got two. Is that okay?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Okay. So when I was younger, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm actually rewatching all of them right now, and it kind of reminds me of when I was Anakin from Episode 2. I had like the Padawan braid and like the suit, and my dad was Darth Maul, which doesn't line up in like the Star Wars timeline, but that's okay. So that was definitely one. But my favorite, like of college so far, is my Teletubby costume. I wore it out to the bars on Tuesday. It was a lot of fun, and I got a lot of looks. So
I bet.
Cool.
That's awesome. I'd love to see some pictures of that. That's hilarious. That's a throwback for sure. Teletubbies, very good. Love that. Best and worst Halloween candy in your opinion?
Wow. I definitely. That's tough. As an offensive lineman, I love candy. Wow, I'd probably have to go with a Snickers bar for my favorite though. Snickers is also my pre-game snack. I eat a Snickers before every game, so can't go wrong with one of those. But I would have to say probably the worst is like candy corn or like the little Whoppers. I don't like those things.
Yeah, Whoppers are gross. Candy corn, very controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think you've got the right answer with Snickers. They're the mini ones that you get on Halloween. Those are absolutely epic. As a forward, I used to love those as well. Big candy guy here. What is your favorite scary movie?
Wow. So fun fact, my mom took me to the movies when I was probably like 12. And I'd like to say it was maybe like one of the Insidious movies or something. And it scared the living crap out of me. And I screamed and ran out of the movie theater. And I vowed to never watch a scary movie again. But wow, I'd probably have to go like Insidious. I've watched them. I've watched a few of them. Like I've tried to revisit it a little bit, but every time I get a little, too scared. So I'll have to go with Insidious probably.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen those, but I'm a big Halloween guy. Halloween, we're here on the holiday, but I also love the original movie very, very much. Any paranormal encounters that you've experienced? UFO sightings, ghosts, anything like that?
No, but my mom, she's a total prankster, by the way.
Nice.
She might be there this weekend, so you might get the pleasure of meeting her. But
Would love to.
She, one time we went camping. I was like 6 years old, and the campground was next to a graveyard. And my mom, it was around Halloween time, so my mom's like, "Oh, we should go and like see." And I'm all of 6. I was like, "Oh, sure, like whatever, I'll do it." And my mom decided to hide a walkie-talkie behind one of the gravestones.
Whoa.
And she was like, "Oh, look at this one." I'm a big history guy. She's like, "Oh, this is like from the Civil War or whatever." And I go, and she's like probably 30 feet behind me. She goes into the walkie-talkie and is like, "Ooh, Gavin, I'm going to get you." Repeat of Insidious. I started screaming and I ran, and I didn't know until probably like 5 years later that was not an actual ghost. So I thought that I had a ghost encounter, but it actually wasn't. But that's probably the closest I've gotten.
That's a great story. Your mom sounds awesome, by the way.
Yeah, she's great.
That sounds like something I would do if I was a parent. Really quick here, I'm going to get you out of here within about 2 to 3 minutes. What is your impressions of head coach John Roberts? And I don't mean, what you think of him overall. I mean, do you have a literal impression of coach? Can you do a good John Roberts?
Oh, wow. I'd like to think so. If I could do anything, I would definitely, pretend like I got a big old hacked lip. He loves his grizzly wintergreen. Man. Oh, he always says, "Gosh darn it." He doesn't believe in cussing. So if I had to do it, I'd tuck my pants way up, and I say,
"There you go.
gosh darn it, guys, you need to get in there and run up and get up on defense. I don't know. That's the best I could do.
That's pretty good. Sometimes, every once in a while, it'll be like really quiet in my apartment, and I'll just say, Carolina, try time.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I've been working on that one. If there's a recruit out there watching this, what would you say to them about coming to Carolina and playing rugby as a Gamecock?
I would definitely say as somebody who looked at our captain and said, there is no way that I'm playing Gamecock rugby. I'll tell you, if you don't want to come play for us, you're making the wrong choice, man. I think there's a lot of great rugby out there, but to say that you're going to go to a club and not have the experience, like I would say you're dead wrong. Like, Gamecock rugby is the epitome of everything that I ever wanted in college. I was never in a frat. I wasn't really close with a whole lot of the football guys. I still got a few friends with, but like, I'm talking about a group of 50 odd guys that are from different places around the world and the country, different backgrounds, different races, different religions, everybody. And we all come together, and I cannot say that I don't like one person on the team. I love every single person for different reasons, same reasons, all of that. Like, if you don't want to come to Gamecock rugby, you don't like having fun, you don't want to play fun rugby. And I don't know. I think you're just dead wrong if you don't want to be a Gamecock.
Love it. I think that's a great explanation. That's exactly what we're looking for here. Final thing here, of course, Gavin, is one-word association. I'm going to say one word, throw one word back at me, and we'll see how you do, okay? And then we'll get you out of here.
All righty. Don't
Rugby.
do the horseshoe one with me again, because I've revisited, but I don't know. I didn't take too great of a look. So.
Might be a little foreshadowing for later. The first one is rugby.
Best friends.
Love it. Mullet.
Man, I'm the mullet man.
All right. Carolina.
Try time. Coach Roberts talks about it all the time. I have to say that.
Hell yeah. This is a gross one. Kentucky.
Lexington Community College. It's a few words, but I don't know. Those guys are super nice. Shout out to my boy Butters, the prop. But, yeah, I don't like those guys.
Fair enough. Two more, and we'll get you out of here. Next one's Halloween.
Candy. As a fat boy, I love that candy.
Good for you. Last one is the horseshoe. The answer is beautiful. I think that's or traditional, iconic.
I'll go with beautiful. I've only been the one time that I've been. It looked nice, but it was like in the winter, so like I didn't get like the whole like experience of like the the colors and stuff like that. It's fall, so I have to go check it out before I leave. I've got one more month, so I'll check it out, and I can attest to that beauty then.
Tell you what, I'm going to be in town on Friday. We'll go together. I'll give you the whole tour. How about it?
You pick me up. I'm down.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so with that being said, Gavin, I appreciate you coming on. We've got 28 minutes here before practice starts. I'm going to let you get out of here. We got 2 words to get out of here in 3, 2, 1. Spurs up.
Spurs up, baby.
Have a good one. Bye.